Well, welcome back to SFC Live. It's finished. Ipswich Town 1, Sunderland 1 down at Portman Road. Let's have a look at the action then. And Danny, you can talk us through the highlights.
Yeah, we've just said it there, haven't we, as the game's finished. I think overall the point's probably fair. You could argue Ipswich had the better of it in terms of a lot of the play and their possession and their pressing, but we arguably had the best chance of the game to win it in Ross Stewart's one-on-one, didn't we, second half? But we'll get onto that. But just think you can see a lot of our issues came down this side. I thought their best player was Wes Burns, and they didn't really use him enough in the second half, if we're honest. But you see there, that's a big opportunity for them, is it the left back? I think Penny coming in on that far side, he's got to do better with that. Again, you see Burns again twisting Lyndon Gooch up, stands another ball to that far post. And there was 3 or 4 of those in that first half where we were having to deal with balls coming in, defenders running back towards our own goal. We offered little in that first half, you know. We're trying to pick up some highlights in our play. That's, you know, Diaku there trying to feed a ball round to Nathan Broadhead, who's on the run, just overhits it. This one here, it's worth an opportunity for Ross Stewart. You know, he's a distance out, but no one comes to press him. You know, sometimes you catch them sweet and they fly in the top corner. And here's the injury now to Diaku. You see there, it's a loose ball. There's a couple of challenges. It just pops around. Yeah. And as it comes to him, he's on the stretch. You know, get another look back at it now. It looks like he goes down his down Diaku's left ankle. Now, whether he's caught him on the follow-through as well, but it's interesting because when he came off, he had his pad down on his right leg. So I'm not sure what the damage is. We'll have to see what happens in the week, and we'll have to hear from Lee Johnson as to what the damage is there. But yeah, he got stretchered off, and then we actually had 1 or 2 half chances towards the end of that first half as well. But then I'm saying let's get in at 0-0 now. Let's regroup and go again. And here's their playing. Just see it there. I think, is it Flanagan gets dragged out. He's not aware what's going on to his left-hand side, Macaulay Bonne. I'm not saying that's his fault, you know, entirely. There's 2 or 3 passes there where they play through. Just keep an eye on Flanagan in the middle. He never looks to his left, never sees Bonne. He's running off Doyle as well, who's got an eye on Wes Burns. And then, unfortunately, as Doyle slides, you know, that ball there, Bailey Wright's probably going to cut it out. But as it just takes that nick, it just takes the flight of it up and over Bailey Wright, who's got a back pedal. You can't get that leverage then to jump. And then credit to Norwood, he gets the power on the header and he tucks it away. But what a reaction we're after coming out second half. And there it is, Dan Neil with the lovely little nutmegs there, and just feeds it into Broadhead. What was he, 18 yards out? Keeper can't really set himself. He can go either way, but he just passes it past him on this near side into the bottom right corner. And that's what we know Nathan Broadhead's capable of. We've seen it, you know, in the last few weeks. Different types of finishes. He's always on the move. He's busy from the first minute till the last. Yeah, obviously he went off today, but whenever he's out there, he's always looking sharp. And he's always looking to pull on the shoulder of centre halves. And then this is the one, this is the big chance now. Ross Stewart there, keeper comes. He's 5 yards away from him. You know, it's easy for us to say we're up in the studio, but you're saying, can Ross Stewart maybe just pass it along the floor underneath him? He just puts a little bit of loft on it, and the keeper gets the block in. And then after that, I don't think we really offered too much going forward. I think Ipswich came back into it, got on top, and then towards the end of the game, they got Burns back involved in the game. That one there, Vincent Young, who came off the bench, looking to bend it into that far corner, just doesn't fetch it back enough. But again, he's involved here now. But this time, you know, Lyndon Gooch up against him 1v1, thinks he's going to go just that step over. Does Lyndon Gooch, pulls it back, thinks it to Chaplin, gets the strike away, but it's a good block from Bailey Wright. And at times we had to defend well in that second half, and we did. But you're happy with that there, as Wes Burns gets the strike away well over the crossbar. This one here is it. Yeah, Ross Stewart gets the wrong side of his man, but never has the ball under control. He's trying to roll it with his studs there, and it gets stuck under his feet. And this one, you know, right at the death, you could see Ipswich were forcing us back. We were getting a little bit leggy towards the end of the game, and I think it's Flanagan there gets the block in. So overall, I'd say I'm happy with the point. That's probably what we deserve from the game. You know, we can argue at the Ross Stewart chance. They can argue they had 1 or 2 opportunities themselves. Penny first half for that good chance where he's scuffed it and it's gone over the crossbar. So I think overall, course of 90 minutes, a draw's a fair result. Got
the BBC stats in for you, like you'd like to hear. 52% possession for Ipswich to our 48. This is the big one. Shots, 16 shots from Ipswich, only 5 from Sunderland. Both teams are having 2 shots on target. Yeah. 7 corners to Sunderland's 3. 6 fouls to Ipswich, 8 to Sunderland.
So
tells the story
pretty
of the
even
game
on
there, doesn't
possession,
it?
yeah, not too much in it. Shots, sometimes the shots can be a little misleading on the stats there, but on target, neither keeper really has been worked, have they? No. I wouldn't say Hoffman's been peppered at all throughout the game, but neither has Walton. He's made that one good save, hasn't he? So, yeah, a fair result for me, that.
Let's have a look at the scores then, Danny, from in and around EFL League One, if we can then, please. Lots of games postponed because of COVID. Cambridge United 0, Rotherham 1. Rotherham getting a goal in the second half there. Morecambe 0, Fleetwood 0, Oxford United 2, Wigan 3. Wigan just doing enough as well in the second half to get the win there. Plymouth 1, Charlton 0, and Shrewsbury 3, Cheltenham 1. Let's see what that does to the table, Danny, and then we can discuss the results. It's kind of as you are position-wise, but Sunderland falling back behind them a little bit.
Yeah, disappointing. You see the results, I think, was it Cambridge and Rotherham was 0-0 at the break, wasn't it? I think Wigan were winning, but then they got pegged back to 2-2. But again, they've managed to nick a winner. You've got to give them credit. They keep digging results out, Wigan. You're waiting for them to falter. Plymouth had a result as well, getting them back on track. But yeah, I know, listen, fans will probably look at it and say the two teams above us have picked up maximum points, so it's disappointing, but you've got to look at our game and then over the balance of the game, and I'm sure Lee Johnson will come out and see the same as what we've done. Well, maybe not, but we'll see. But I think he'll say a result, a draw is a fair result today. Yeah,
definitely. Okay, then it's time now to look at some of your opinions on hashtag Ask Danny. This is the first one from @weekend438. Good to see Denver back. He's been a miss.
Well, I think it's good to see a natural left back first up. I think, Lyndon Gooch has been playing there, doing a great job. He had a difficult first half, but I think you look at Wes Byrne and he caused any fullback issues when he's picking up the ball and he's got space to drive at a fullback and he shifts it quite well, then he's going to cause any fullback issue. So you've got to give credit to Lyndon Gooch, who's naturally a winger for me, playing at the other side of the pitch at left back. But then Denver comes on with Diaku going off. We change it up and bring Denver on. And it was good for him to get minutes. He's been out for a fair few weeks now, Denver, and I don't think he's played any minutes for the 23s, has he? No. So to go from nothing to being asked to play 60 odd minutes of the game there, he didn't come on. He come on at 39 minutes or so, and there was a fair bit of stoppage time. So he's had a good bit of game time under his belt, coming up against a lad who's in full form there in Wes Burns. Confidence out on that side, but he kept him fairly quiet, I'd say, in that second half.
Particularly in the second half,
he did, didn't he? Yeah. So you give credit to Denver, and now we need him back. We need to get Sirkin back. We need to get these boys back, and gives Lee Johnson options then higher up the pitch and getting boys back into their natural positions. But good to see Denver back, and hopefully he's okay after that run out he's had today.
Let's have a look at the next one then, please, if we can. This one's from Bradley Sharp, who says, have you finished your Christmas shopping? The kids going to be kitted out in red and white. How vital is Broadhead to the side for the rest of the season? The way he finds the pockets in behind, and always on the last man as seen for our equaliser. A point on Broadhead first, please.
Yeah, well, the Christmas shopping first.
Is the Christmas shopping done?
Christmas shopping's all done. Yeah, I don't like the mad rush, so I've done that, and the kids have got the kits. To be fair.
Yeah, and Santa's got their lists as well. Obviously.
He has. Yeah, Santa's got the list as well. But no, moving on to Nathan Broadhead. Yeah. Bradley's obviously seeing it the same, and I like watching him every time the ball comes in and around him. Maybe today his hold-up play wasn't quite all there. At times when it's coming up and we are under the cosh a little bit, just needs to stick it. But it's the same with Ross as well. I think we were flicking balls around the corner, which weren't on. Get hold of it, secure it, and let's build up the pitch. But he's a nightmare for defenders. We say it week in, week out. He's always on the last defender's shoulder. Mm-hmm. I think he got caught offside with 1 second half as well. But you don't mind that, because at times that's that chance you've got to take, really. You see it for the goal there. As soon as Dan Neil links up with Ross Stewart, he pops it through the man's legs in the middle of the park, and he's on his way. He just rolls the ball into his path, Dan Neil. Takes 1 or 2 touches, and he's got that composure. I think, is he 23, Nathan Broadhead? So I won't say he's young in terms of football age, but in terms of his games and his experience at this level, he's young, but shows that composure, what you want to see. From a deadly striker, if you like, really. He takes 1 or 2 touches, he's 18 yards out, assesses the goalkeeper, doesn't let the goalkeeper set himself, and just passes it past him at his near post. But we've seen all types of finishes from him, going back to one in the Papa John's a few weeks ago, was it Bradford? Mm-hmm. Embleton ball over the top, great first touch, smacks it across the keeper into that far corner. Header last week, getting a yard in the box, so he's scoring different types of goals. And unfortunately, he had that spell, didn't he, after the Cheltenham game where he picked up his injury. He was out for a few weeks, but he's come back. He looks sharp, and I think he's doing a job where it's almost a front three, isn't it, where he's being asked to play on that left-hand side, but then second half he comes and gets involved, moves more centrally, gets involved, linking the play up, but, running on the shoulder, that's where I like to see him, and let's hope he stays fit, because between now and the end of the season, I'd argue, 23 games or so to go, you'd be looking for him setting himself targets. I'd want to see him getting 10 goals or so.
Okay, thanks, Danny. Let's move on to the next one then, please. This one is of Glenn. He says, 1 point gained, given how the game went. Keeps the mini run going, even though the other teams won. Coming in from Florida, from the United States. Thanks, Glenn, for watching. As ever, thanks for all the fans watching around the world.
Yeah, I think Glenn's spot on. Yeah, he's seen it the same as us. It's 1 point gained. I think obviously you start the game with a point, so you don't want to give that away. Can you nick the other two? Well, I don't think we've done enough today. You can argue we had the one. Ross Stewart was the golden opportunity, wasn't it? 1-on-1, but the keeper makes a good save, spreads himself. But at the same time, we limited them to very little. But you've read the stats out there. They've shaded possession, but it was very close. Shots on target, very close. So you look at the stats and they tell the story of the game, really, where I think they maybe had more opportunities and got into better areas than us throughout the 90 minutes. But Hoffman hasn't had to pluck out, save after save. So it's one of them. I've said it there. I expect them to be up there, towards the end of the season. New manager coming in. Can he get them going? I'd expect Ipswich to be in and around the playoffs come the end of the season. So for me, it's a good point on the road after a good run. And he says it there, keeps the mini run going. That's 7 unbeaten in the league. So the lads, I would say, dust themselves down. They can't, because they've got to get back up here and get ready to go again on Tuesday night, what will be a tough night down at the Emirates.
Yes, indeed. Okay, then let's move on to another one then, if we can. This one's from Anthony, who says, do Yorkshire puddings belong on a Christmas dinner? This is a good point.
Well, it's a good question. Absolutely for me.
Absolutely not for me.
Not for you, no?
No.
No. Well, we've got a debate here, haven't we? Well, I know you won't have the pigs in blankets.
No.
Because you're a
you
veggie.
get veggie ones, though.
Yeah.
But Anthony, I'm going to say no to that one. It's Ask Danny, but I'm telling you.
Is that because you don't like Yorkshire puddings or not?
No, I love Yorkshire puddings.
Just not on a Christmas dinner?
It's not on a Christmas dinner. There's no space. There's enough stuff
yeah,
going
I know
on.
you can pick, well, for me, the sprouts have got to go, you see, and I know you'll probably
the
like
Yorkshire puddings, Sunday dinner, they're there every week. So
Yeah.
That's so special is it on the Christmas dinner as well?
Yeah,
You'd be telling me you put tomato ketchup on next, right?
No, just the gravy and mint sauce for me on a Christmas dinner.
Right.
But no, pigs in blankets have got to be on there. Yorkshire puddings, roasties, and a nice thick gravy. So I don't know how we've drifted onto a full Christmas dinner chat, but we have done. But the Yorkshires have got to be on there for me.
Nut roast all the way here. Okay, then let's move on to the next one then. From Chris Coulson, who says, are the referees singling us out with the lack of decisions we get, or are they really that bad for every team? Also, any news on Leon? I guess that's following on from the first half injury. Watching from Vancouver, Canada. Thanks, Chris. Well, I guess we'll find out in good time if Leon Diaku is out long-term or short-term. We'll find out. And you can find out probably before us if you keep an eye on SAFC's social media channels. Lee Johnson always speaking to SAFC's .com, which is always shown on the Twitter page first. So keep an eye on that. It's not good if he is out because it's another injury we don't know.
Yeah, it's another one in there. Again, we don't know what he's injured yet, whether it was his ankle. He had his sock down, didn't he? So was it his calf? Was it his shin? We're not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Lee Johnson will come out after the game and I'm sure the guys will ask him the questions and what the injury is, and hopefully he's okay, because as you mentioned there, the injury list keeps on growing. You get Denver comes back today and it looks like could be another one in there with Leon Diaku. But no, in terms of the referees, it's something I hate chatting about. I'd rather talk about the game itself, like last week.
Well, last week against Plymouth, we didn't have to talk about the referee because Sunderland came through and got all 3 points.
Yes.
However, if they didn't get all 3 points, we probably would have
the spotlight goes on him straight away. And you look at the incident with Dan Neil. He gets clipped from behind. It's a free kick. He waves play on. So, but that could have changed the course of the game, couldn't it? Yeah. Thankfully, it never. But today, I think there was the one second half. We weren't sure why he gave that drop ball, wasn't it? Where Daniels tried to hook it clear, didn't quite get it right, but it comes back to him, between him and one of their lads, and then he blew the whistle.
Oh, there was so many drop balls in the game as well.
But it was a drop ball. It wasn't a competing drop ball. He just gave the drop ball to Ipswich to regain possession. So I'm not sure what was going on there. And there was one or two others as well, but it is frustrating. Obviously you've got the elite referees. They obviously make mistakes at the top level as well. And again, I've not been a referee, and it's a hard job. They've got to have eyes in the back of their heads, but at the same time, they're under pressure. And incidents happen in a game. So natural reaction is for players when they see something and a referee doesn't. The players are going to get on top of the referees.
And surely the linesman and the fourth official can offer advice to the one
try and help him out as well. Yeah. Like last week, the one looking at Dan Neil, if the ref doesn't see it, the linesman on that far side has got to be looking at that and he's got to see that it's a trip on Dan Neil.
And can the fourth official have a say?
I think he can do, yeah. And I have heard him before saying, yeah, that's a foul. Martin or whatever the referee's name is, just down his ear, help him out.
The referee's normally called Martin, aren't they?
Well, I don't know why I've gone for Martin there. Martin Atkinson comes to top of my mind in the Premier League. But no, if they can see something, help the referee out, because then it stops him getting the flack on the touchline from Lee Johnson, from, John McGreal as it was today, or nothing worse than a job as a fourth official. For 90 minutes, you're getting peppered from both dugouts. But it just stops everybody getting frustrated with what's going on, where everybody, or certainly most people, can see it in the ground, but the one person who matters and doesn't see it is the person with the whistle in the middle of the pitch, and that's the referee. So, yeah, you can look at it and say, are they singling us out? I don't know, because we're not watching other games, are we, on a Saturday, week in, week out? I'm sure you could speak to, I don't know, Cambridge have played Rotherham today, and I'm sure one of those sides will feel aggrieved from some decisions which have gone against them throughout the 90 minutes. So, but
normally over the course of the season as well,
yeah,
they kind of balance each other out, don't they?
Yeah, well, you'd hope so, yeah. But let's try not to talk too much about the referees and let's try and focus on the performances.
Exactly, and Sunderland probably come away with a good point this afternoon.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good point. Get back on the bus, good point, a tough place to go, and let's get ready to go again Tuesday night.
Yes, Sunderland are back in action on Tuesday night. We're not bringing you the action here on SAFC Live. That's because it's a game taken by the broadcasters over here in the UK, Sky. But we will be back in action on SAFC Live on Monday the 27th against Doncaster. That's a 12:30 kickoff for that one, so don't get caught out for that, which means we'll be on air from 12 noon. That's it for us for this game, and all that's left for me and Danny to do is to wish you a very happy, safe Christmas. Thanks for joining us here on SAFC Live. Danny, do you want to give the people a Christmas message?
Yeah, just say happy Christmas to everybody, all the viewers, all the fans. Stay safe as we can in these times, and let's hope we have a good result Tuesday, and we'll see you the other side of Christmas.
Thanks very much. We'll see you next time.